So, Mark, another part of Ikigai is to somehow find out what your clients, what the people you work for, what they need. And when I was thinking about this question before you met, I come to think of naturally these enormously rapid technological changes that are and the popularity of devices, electronic devices, and social media, etc. So I guess that's what people need. They need these tools, and they like them. What I also learn is that we need democracy, and we live in a world now where that is a little bit under threat. But people need that freedom and ability to participate in decision making, not only in the companies they work for, but in the countries they live in. And we also need a wonderful nature around us, a great environment. We are sitting now at the River Rhine in Basel, and it's absolutely beautiful here. And we can see people swimming in the Rhine, and I recall also we talked about that earlier. It was not possible, and now it is. And so when you think about what people you work for need, so what comes into your mind?
So in the economy part of where I work, I work for like businesses and small and medium-sized company owners, etc.
Yep.
I think they need guidance. The most
Guidance. About what?
Because I think they have a vision of what they want to do with their company, with their employees, with all that. But then the structure that is provided by the government, and sometimes it's very opaque. Right, there's a form, and no, you need this form, or you need to do this and that first, and oh, this doesn't apply here, and so you just need a guidance to say, this is where I want to end up, and you need someone to show you a little bit of that way, so you can actually walk the path. So if it's simple to say, oh, I need credit, for example. I need credit. I want to expand my business. I have this great business idea, but you don't have investors. You don't have the network. You don't. So that's part of where I come into play, for example, and say, look, I know these people. Talk to them, and I have offers here, and so just connecting the dots.
Connecting
yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What else do you think people need?
I mean, you mentioned freedom to do what they set out to do. I think that's the most important, especially in democracy. It's not something that I can particularly help with other than just vote and try to keep it alive. But yeah, it's a difficult question, and like to generalize and say people need this or that. They need the freedom and the opportunity to make mistakes, to try and have their businesses, create their businesses, always with the lens of this economy aspect, not the individual, and just to fulfill their ambitions and try.
Yeah. And if we look a little bit more broadly about on this topic, what comes into my mind now, maybe it's a little bit too broad, but I'd like to ask you about your family. What do you think your child and your wife need?
I mean, for my family, I think we need each other in the sense of like the security, the love, the home, the basics, right? The togetherness and the trust among ourselves, and and just have a roof over our head and food, and like the very basics is on the pyramid, the Maslow's pyramid, where you say this is what you need to develop.
Is there some kind of relation between what your closest friends and family need and what your clients need?
Good question again. I'm struggling with that one, to be honest. I haven't made that connection to the individual most of the times. I mean, I used to work for a publisher, so that was closer to healthcare. So that was obviously one thing that we need, good health, that everyone needs. Now it's a bit more difficult to make that connection.
Okay, no worries. Okay, thank you. So, what is the most important contribution you believe you can make to people you work for? You mentioned connecting people to others that they can build something with. What comes into your mind about your personal contribution that you can make to help people?
So my personal contribution is having a bit of a serving mentality. So of course everything has its limits, but if you can see going one step further, doing the extra mile, and that helps someone achieve what they need or what they believe they need or what they would like to get to in life, then I think it's worthwhile investing. So that's a bit of, and it doesn't matter whether it's someone at the post office, that you can help just unload the package that they have, or whether it's someone that you can give a credit to or loan to, or someone in the family that you can help out with. It's that serving mentality, I think, that gives a lot in return when you receive that thank you and that appreciation from that people.
Yeah. If you look around, now we're in Basel, if you look around and you go through your life here every day, what are some things that you say, hey, we could do that much better? Either in your home environment, in your business environment, in the city environment, and things that just doesn't work very well. They're inefficient, or there's a problem doing it, and we could improve that a lot. What comes into your mind? What is not working?
So one thing that comes to my mind is job descriptions.
Okay.
So it's a positive thing, and you were a coach, and I took some coaching as well, and it's an important part to know who you are, what role you have, and what the expectation to that role is. But a lot of times I always find it's a hindrance as well, because it says, it's not in my job description to return this mug of coffee, so I won't do it. And if you get rid of the description, then I might think, is it nice if I return it? And then I might do it.
Yeah.
So I think it's a hindrance in most public places, or where you have a very explicit service that you only pay for this, so you're only getting this. I think that's very restrictive to us as humankind, because then you walk out as just a number.
Okay.
You've got your service, so please move on.
The last question I'd like to ask you about this part about needs of people is a question I've been thinking quite a lot about as I thought about questions to ask you, and I'm very unsure about your answer, and I'm very curious to know about your answer. It's about whether people need progress or they need harmony, and I'm very unsure about your answer, because I know that you have a big heart, you are a big family man, but at the same time you have a strong focus on results in the way you work, and you want to see progress. So what's more important for people, progress or harmony?
I think in the stage I am now with my life, I would say harmony, because that's sometimes a little bit missing in the bigger picture, especially geopolitical, etc. That we need more harmony than forced progress. But I'm also thinking about, is there always progress, or does it level out at some point? We've talked about this with AI, we've talked about this with other technologies.
Yep.
And it is progress, but when does it stop being a help, a support? When is it being a burden? When it starts to be when does it backfire? So I'm always as you say, I'm pushing a bit forward, but I'm always aware of this could also be too far at some point. It has to be almost. That's how I feel.
Okay, thank you.